I said, Katie, if you do this for me, I'll stop others from harassing you as I have a much bigger audience than you. And I said, creating a separate account entirely for the sole purpose of blackmailing me into bending to your will, that's not how I operate, Katie.
Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. This video has been demonetized by me because the clicks and views belong to Preacher Boy. This is his story. I'm only going to share pieces of that story with you here tonight, and I hope that you'll click on the link below so that you can see his full video. I'm sure by now Preacher Boy is tired of addressing what happened with Katie Joy. I'm already tired of addressing her just 2 days into finally speaking out against her bullshit. So quickly, let me catch you up. A couple of days ago, I was busy making a new video in which I praised Without a Crystal Ball for her interview of Emily Lee, a woman who grew up in the AUB. I watched the interview and it reminded me that there's so much more to talk about when it comes to the AUB and other polygamist communities. Many of us are aware of this. I've made videos about it in the past. Many of you know I used to live down in Mexico, and I spoke about what happened to the Mormon community down there while I was sitting around in quarantine. So I'm heavily aware of several of the different sects and much of the criticism swirling around them. But of course, it's great to hear interviews with people like Emily Lee and get that kind of firsthand information that's important to share. I would never question whether or not we should share it. I'm only questioning if Katie Joy is the right person to share it with. And it makes me sad to have to question that, right? Because I never want to bring another creator down. I feel happy for someone like Katie Joy to make a good living on YouTube, to get tons of clicks and be successful and have a great YouTube channel. I'm happy for her. So many of you have jumped in my comments to support me, and I really appreciate all of your kindness and sincerity. I mean, that's what I always look for in people, sincerity. And that's something I haven't seen from Without a Crystal Ball in a very long time. But I want to make it clear, nothing of what I have to say is about wanting to stop people from watching Without a Crystal Ball or take down her channel. I wish her all the success in the world. But what I don't wish is to see another person in a difficult situation get taken advantage of, thrown under the bus, and treated like shit by Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball. In her latest video, in response to what I had to say about her post with Christine, she talks about losing like 100 subscribers and feeling like she's worked so hard with these victims from the AUB and now they're questioning her. And it makes me like really sad. I'm sad for her that this is the consequence of what she's been doing for the past several years. Yeah, I think she could do a lot of good for a lot of people, but I've never seen her do it. I've seen her have a lot of opportunities and squander them in utter selfishness. I wanted to believe that her interviewing Emily Lee was a step in the right direction, and that's why I started making a video about it, until I hopped over to her page and saw how she was using information obtained by these AUB victims to make salacious stories about people like Christine and Janelle, who clearly aren't perfect, and we all get that, you know? But this is about going after people, famous people, to bring in as many views as possible. And that's why I'm speaking out, because I'm worried for people like Emily Lee. Full disclosure, Emily Lee actually came onto my YouTube channel and left a comment in which she said, I really trust Without a Crystal Ball. She's working with several of us in the AUB, and her information is accurate. And I thought, it's great to hear that. But in the back of my mind and in the pit of my stomach, all I could think was, God, I hope she doesn't screw you over like she did everyone else. So I'm going to share some information about Without a Crystal Ball's interaction with Preacher Boy. His channel is devoted to speaking out and helping people who are survivors of the IFB. He put this video out in response to multiple negative interactions he had with Katie. As I said, I'll only be sharing a part of it here. If you want to see the whole thing, please click on the link below. And after this, I'll be sharing more fun and positive content on my YouTube page. Because trust me, I never even wanted to have to do this. If you're so inclined, please share this video because YouTube doesn't promote demonetized videos, and I want people who care about this situation to be able to see it. I also want to state that when I messaged back and forth with Emily Lee on my YouTube channel, I let her know that I'm really proud of her for coming forward. I think that she's being incredibly brave, and I gave her some information about a channel called Mormon Stories, who I think would do a great job of interviewing her and other people within the AUB. That channel is incredibly professional, and they even fundraise to help people who are in situations where they can't get out, including the guests. So I just want to put out there that there are a lot of other people who may do a really good job bringing this information to YouTube. Myself is not one of them, for sure. This is a gossip and fun channel, but there are definitely some other people out there that I tried to mention to Emily Lee.
So look, some of you may have already seen my Instagram post today. You may have already seen some of what I'm going to talk about as far as the Without a Crystal Ball situation. And I made a public statement because I made a public invitation to her to come on my show. I made a public statement that said that, I'll read exactly what I said.
Still have so much left to learn.
So I made a statement. I said, regarding the Without a Crystal Ball live I joined yesterday, I have done research since I appeared. Katie Joy's methods have historically been incredibly problematic. I'm disappointed in myself in not doing what I always do, which is research before I share my platform with anybody. I didn't expect to be called on to join her live, didn't think anything of it. I just wanted to encourage who I thought was a fellow advocate. I've never communicated before with her. It makes me sick to my stomach to think I misread the situation or sent the wrong message to anybody. Please know I'm extremely new to her content, not a fan of her tactics, and I've since discovered she utilizes. I'll not be hosting her on my show. My credibility and the credibility of those I partner with is important to me. And so I put out that statement. Yeah, that happened. And then I received a message from Katie that says, what you've done proves to me that even today you still lack respect for women. Anyway, you could have spoken to me, but instead chose to publicly humiliate me. And I said, Katie, respectfully, this has nothing to do. And by the way, the reason I'm sharing these messages is because of what's going on today. Katie, respectfully, this has nothing to do with you being a woman. I've worked alongside many incredible women. That's the majority of the people I have on my show over the course of my show, and I was not out to humiliate you. I saw things that were troubling and chose to distance myself. I made a public appearance and felt the need to address that public appearance on a public setting. That's all. Some of my concerns are validated in that you removed your first few kind messages and then chose to send a more antagonistic message when you didn't get a prompt response. I take full responsibility for joining a live without doing more research. That was on me. I've said my piece. That's where I wanted the conversation to end. And what I meant when I said she deleted the original messages to me, originally when she messaged me after I put out the statement, it was very kind, and it said basically that she was very sorry. She had haters that were coming after her. She's sorry if I felt threatened by anybody, which I didn't. And nobody responded to me in a hateful or angry way. I just want to make that really clear. And so she had sent me like 3 messages right in a row, deleted those, and then sent me a message saying that I humiliated her, that I lacked respect for women, etc. So I sent that response to her.
Still have so much left to learn.
And then she said, Oh, I lost that. I lost this message here. But then she basically responded and said that there were. Oh, here it is. Sorry. I said, no, you chose to, and I apologize, guys. I didn't expect to be doing this live today. No, you chose to be publicly terrible. You did not say this isn't accurate, or I don't know about this. Instead, without warning, you humiliated me. If you can't see that's wrong and misogynistic, I can't make you change. So that was the messages that went back and forth, and immediately following that, she went and did 2 to 3 live stream videos addressing me, talking about me. And here's just a few clips to kind of give you a sense of what that looked like. There are plenty of full recaps if you search Without a Crystal Ball or WOACB and Preacher Boys. Plenty of people have done recaps on YouTube. And I just want to make clear from that point on, I've been completely silent, even though there were a lot of things that were said about me, like some of these statements.
Media to save face. Still have so much left to learn. So the only thing I'm using this for is that I'm not going to give him grace in the respect that he made a public statement to humiliate me, and he won't respond to me in DMs.
Which again,
and
as you guys saw, is not true. I did respond to her very quickly and was very respectful in my responses. That's my full responses to her. And so this is inaccurate information. This is a lie.
It's all I can say to you. After I've graciously given you time on my platform to share what you do, I had no agenda.
Okay, so again, obviously, as you guys saw from the screenshots, it's not true. I did respond to her. It was within a few minutes of her writing, and again, I was on an airplane going to Costa Rica, so...
Suffice it to say, Katie Joy wasn't happy with what went down between her and Preacher Boy, and that's when she decided she was really going to F him over.
The reason I'm mentioning is because today I got, or on Monday last week, rather, I got a message from an account under the username Diana, and the message said, hi, Katie Paulson told me to reach out to you in regards to sharing my story. I responded to her on Saturday. I said, hi, Diana, can you give me some more info? She said, I was sexually abused by a cult member. And then she sent me multiple pictures, which I won't share here for the privacy of the victim. She said, this is the person that abused me, and these are pictures of her. Katie wants you to do a story on her. Her name is blank. She was abused between ages 5 and 15. So there was a gap between yesterday and today, and it turned from this person, this Diana, being someone who was abused, to me wanting me to run a story about someone who had been abused. And in this message, it says she was abused between ages 5, or I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this here. Let me blow this up. Ages 5 and 15. If you do this for me, I'll stop all the hate you're receiving. And it says she deserves to be humiliated for reporting to my family to CPS. One of the things Katie keeps mentioning in her lives is that people are reporting her to CPS. I don't know about this. Again, I don't know much about Katie beyond my personal experience, which has not been positive. I don't know if people are doing that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on as far as that goes. But then it says her Twitter is blank, her Instagram is blank. Do this for me, and I'll stop my followers from targeting you. I said I might be misunderstanding something. Why are you telling me you'll stop the hate I'm receiving and stop your followers from, quote, targeting me? The response says, it says, I might be misunderstanding. She said, you know full well who I am. I said, no, I really don't. Unless I'm very mistaken, it sounds like you're blackmailing me to do what you want, or else you're going to send a Twitter mom my way. And it says, the person humiliated with your post without consulting me first. And I said, Katie, if you do this for me, I'll stop others from harassing you, as I have a much bigger audience than you. And I said, creating a separate account entirely for the sole purpose of blackmailing me into bending to your will. That's not how I operate, Katie. This really did bother me, and I do want to say this really quickly. Obviously, there's a piece of this where, this is an anonymous account. So, some people mentioned, what if this is not Katie? All I'm going to say is, based on my experiences with her and the way that she's responded to things, this wouldn't be the most surprising thing to me if this is in fact her. But whether it's her or whether it's a deranged Katie, fan, or whether it is a deranged, person that hates Katie, I don't know. The pieces don't make sense. And if this is her, creating an account, threatening me to release a victim's information who had trusted Katie with their story is not how I roll, and I'm not going to be blackmailed into this stuff. And I said that, I said my piece. This person's a liar and deserves it. Do this, I'll forget our spat. Otherwise, I'll personally make your life a living hell. Your choice. And I said, that's not how I work. I don't even know who the person is you're referring to, and I don't want any piece of your self-created drama. And she said, she lied in my court case. I want her exposed now, or I'll make sure you regret humiliating me. First, not doing this. Second, how do I know you're really Katie? Because again, I wanted to verify. It says you'll find out when you have 170,000 people harassing you. I said, if it really is you, it's disgusting to exploit a victim. You're unhinged. I'm blocking this account now. And anyway, my thoughts on this are, whoever it is, this is awful for survivors everywhere. This is extremely offensive to me as someone who tries to work with survivors. And again, based on my experiences with Katie, I've had nothing but bad experiences since doing this live stream. And again, there's lots of well-documented things that she's done that are extremely problematic, plenty of high-profile lawsuits involving her. And yeah, it just does, it just seems very odd. This just seems like a very odd situation. And
There's so much more to this story, which you can find out about on Preacher Boy's channel. I'm sure you can also go to Without a Crystal Ball's channel and look up Preacher Boy, and I'm sure she has responses to what he has to say. There are also many other YouTubers who have made videos about this situation. It's one of the many, many, many situations that have completely disturbed me when it comes to my own rabbit hole about Without a Crystal Ball. I could have made a million videos in the past, especially when she was super popular and people were talking about her on YouTube incessantly. I could have made a ton of clicks and views off of those videos, but I chose not to because I really don't want to devote my time and energy to this kind of rabbit hole. And yet I feel pushed into it. I feel concerned about what she was up to with Christine Brown and these AUB survivors. I want to make it clear that I do believe there are mental health issues at play when it comes to Without a Crystal Ball, and I always hope that things get better for her when it comes to how she interacts with people on YouTube. I think what I've seen in the past is that Without a Crystal Ball will back down and stop her shenanigans when she's called out publicly about it. And I hope that that's what's going to happen from here on out. Now that people are speaking out about Christine and I made the video that I made and she responded to it, I think she'll be more careful in the future about what she has to say. And hopefully she'll honor the AUB victim she's working with in a better way. I certainly hope she means what she says when she says that she wants to devote her time, energy, and money to helping these people. I guess we can only wait around and see, and hope we don't have another repeat of what's happened before, over and over again, with Katie Joy.